Howdy, my impatiens. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I am live and I'm ready to engage with all of you. I hope you will come filing in and be at my beck and call. I hope you will come filing in and be at my beck and call. Yeah. So I'm working on a new comedy bit. So it's called You Know You're Depressed When. Um, And basically, the concept of this joke is the first episode of You Know You're Depressed is I see a maintenance worker, and he's working 9 to 5, 5 days a week, cleaning up fecal matter, and he's dribbling in his coffee and he's behaving like a dirtbag. And I say to myself, you're depressed when you're projecting that this maintenance worker must be happy and enjoying his life. You're depressed, and you think everybody is so happy and and you're the only one who's miserable. You're the only one who's not enjoying his life. And interestingly enough, the maintenance worker, my life is probably significantly better than his, or not even significantly better. Just my mother. I mean, my life is a cakewalk. My mother gives me dinners. I get to play all day. I'm living a life of leisure. And meanwhile, I'm depressed. I go into the supermarket. I see the maintenance worker, and I'm like, oh, this guy's life must be so happy. He must be having the time of his life, dribbling his coffee, acting like a dirtbag. But meanwhile, my life is probably significantly better than the maintenance worker. You know what I mean? So, you're depressed when you're projecting into the maintenance worker that he's probably having the time of his life, dribbling his coffee and working like a dirtbag. And I mean, what's another example of you're depressed when? I guess you're depressed when you start taking midday naps. Where can I go with that, though? I mean, it's true. It's true. You're depressed when you start taking midday naps, but um, there's really not a lot I can elaborate on. It's kind of like you might be a redneck, or there's your sign. Bill Engvall and Jeff Foxworthy. I don't know. I don't know if I should really look to them as comedy inspirations. I mean, they're funny enough, but I guess they appeal to a more of a Southern demographic. I figure I must need a catchphrase, and mine can be you're depressed when you're depressed when you're drinking coffee like it's water, and you're realizing you're probably going to get cancer, and you're like, I don't even give a shit. Just fuck it. If I die of cancer, I die of cancer. You're depressed when. Yeah, I mean, that's another example. You're depressed when you're projecting into the maintenance worker that he's having the time of his life. You're depressed when. Yeah, I got to work on some of these. My impatients aren't going to magically deliver these jokes to me. I got to write them. I got to literally. Hey, Erie. Erie said giving me crickets. Fuck you, Erie. I'm about to go to NAMI momentarily, Patrick. You're depressed when you spend too much time solitary and in isolation. You're depressed when. Yeah, I'm going to NAMI momentarily, though, so I'm going to be spending this evening out of the house. Splurge Lord says, homie, delete that video that says I desperately need to get laid, or it's going to scare away all your friends. Hey, to be honest with you, I think all the friends I have are aware of my crazy social media content. And, frankly, they're, they like me for me. So, Yeah, I mean, if you don't like the video, that's fine. But Tim says, don't assume that, Andrew. You know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. Don't assume. Regardless, though, it's a good performance. I mean, if even if you don't like the performance, it's a good performance. Somebody says that video sounds Erie wrote grapey. Well, I mean, that wasn't my intention. My intention was to express how frustrated I am. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Maybe that video I should take down. I'm going to leave it up, though. You know, it wasn't a reference to anybody in particular, believe it or not. It was just more of a feeling of wanting, you know, a romantic partner. And, you know, when it comes to, you know, friends and people I know. I mean, I love my friends. You know, I I'm a goody two shoes. I'm a good guy. I mean, maybe the video makes me sound a little, you know, desperate and you know, you know, really. But the reality is, anybody who knows me as a friend knows what a good guy I am. What a heart of gold I have. And you know, I would, yeah, I would defend my friends. I would protect my friends, and you know, but that's just me. So, I mean, it's a performance. You might not like the song. You might not like the performance. It's how I feel. But you know, I'm not. I don't know. Somebody says the desperation of the song is creepy. All right, if you find the song creepy, Erie asks me, "How am I a good guy?" All right, I feel I'm a good guy. I feel well. I mean, if somebody's if so, well, I get at the very least, if somebody's my friend, I'll love them and I'll be, I don't know, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't about anybody. It was just about how I really want a girlfriend. You know what I mean? If Patrick says you're not making good defense, stammering on that one. It didn't really strike a nerve. I mean, like I don't know. Sleeve says some of us may have a feeling of conviction that you aren't that great of a guy. Okay, if you don't like me, that's fine, Sleeves. I mean, some people will like me though, and I'm appreciative of people who are my friends. I'm appreciative of people who genuinely like me. If you don't like me, that's fine. You don't have to. If you don't think I'm a good guy, if you want to think I'm a bad guy, that's fine by me, Erie. But I mean, I also that doesn't mean I'm unworthy of love. That doesn't mean I'm unworthy of having friends. That doesn't mean and frankly, that's your opinion that I'm not a good guy. I think I'm a really nice, wholesome kind of guy to people who are my friend. Splurge Lloyd says you give off nice guy energy. I believe it or not, I really am a nice guy. I mean, my performances on social media might not really, paint the picture of how I really am because they're very dramatic. They're very embellished. They make me appear like a large, sensational wrestling character. But if you met me in real life, I'm shy, I'm quiet, I'm timid, I'm a nice guy, and I don't be, somebody says, you ever see the movie Jim Carrey, The Mask? When I go on social media, it's like I put on the mask and I start behaving dramatic and embellished and sensationalistic. But obviously in real life, I'm shy, I'm timid, I'm quiet. I don't actually, and some people assume, obviously my social media persona is how I behave in real life, but that's really not so. That's really not so at all. Rusty says your wrestling character is Dean Malenko. I don't think so. I think more Chris Jericho, if anybody, because Dean Malenko was very Marine like. I mean, his ring work told his story, but he was very intense and he didn't have much personality. He was like a wrestling Marine. where Chris Jericho is a little bit of a man child who was obnoxious, and he was good in the ring too. But Chris Jericho is more performative in talking. So I think Chris Jericho is a better comparison. Patrick says, I believe you get confrontational and attack your parents off social media. I don't believe you're a passive offline all the time. You've mentioned yelling at the gym and outside. All right. I mean, I'm not I'm not passive 100% of the time. I mean, I'll certainly get into fights with my parents every now and then. I'll certainly yell at the gym every now and then. But also, obviously, I'm very shy. I'm very awkward. I don't really I don't really have very much social skills. I don't really know how to socially engage and interact. I'm very quiet, in social situations. I guess if I'm one on one with somebody, I'm a little bit more able to communicate and converse. Patrick, and who's to blame for? I'm not even blaming anybody for that. That's just how I am. It's not even a bad thing. I mean, do you like somebody who's loud and talks all the time? Maybe I'm a Sigma male. Maybe my silence, makes people intrigued and speaks for itself. I mean, sometimes the people that are chatty Cathys and are always talking are annoying and irritating, and you're just like, shut up. So I know people like that. You listen to them talk and chat and just talk in the room, and you're just thinking to yourself, just shut up. So if you think, obviously the fact that I'm quiet is a bad thing, and maybe not, because sometimes people that just talk and talk and talk, you just thinking to yourself, just be quiet. Sleeve says, you're still clutching the umbilical cord. You're still dependent on your parents, and you aren't a Sigma male, Andrew. And Erie says, you're pretty awful to your parents, not going to lie. All right, fair enough, Erie. If you want to say I'm awful to my parents. I'm a Sigma male, Sleeves. Somebody says he's a beta. You think I'm a beta male? Okay, fair enough. If you want to think I'm a beta male, that's fine by me. I don't care. I think I'm a Sigma male. I'm a Sigma. I'm a Sigma male. Patrick says, to reiterate, Andrew, you're a beta male. You ain't no Sigma. Do Sigma males actually exist, or is it just something people made up to make themselves think they're beyond alphas? I'm a Sigma male. Rusty says, Andrew, you don't have the jawline to be a Sigma male. All right, fair enough, Rusty, fair enough. Fair enough. I ain't a Sigma male. La 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 la. All right, I guess I'm gonna get going. I mean, Nami's at 6:30 tonight. Erie asks, what are some redeeming qualities about me? I don't know, Erie. I'm handsome. I'm funny. I'm charming. I'm a nice guy. I'm a Sigma male. I'm a Sigma male. I'm a Sigma. I think I'm handsome. Patrick says, you're not really any of those things, Andrew. All right, fair enough, Patrick. I'm a Sigma male. Somebody says, if somebody called me ugly, would I be upset? Well, I'm definitely not ugly. If you don't think I'm like the hottest guy on planet Earth, that's fine. But if you don't, if I don't think I'm an ugly guy, I'm definitely my looks aren't my problem. That's for sure. The problem here isn't how I look, because I look average to above average, maybe even significantly above average. This is not the problem here. Erie asks, "Do you think you would be more successful with women if you were more attractive?" Well, to be honest with you, Erie, I don't think looks are the problem. I think I would be more successful with women if I was financially independent. I think I'd be more successful with women if I had my mental health issues under control. I think really when it comes to my looks, most women, or at least the women I'm attracted to, find me attractive. That's not really the issue. I mean, the issue is the mental illness and the lack of financial independence. Because I definitely don't think I'm an ugly guy. I mean, regardless, if you want to say, okay, he's attractive, sort of. I mean, realistically, I'm not an ugly guy, and I've never been insecure about my appearance, really. I mean, except when I was like really skinny. But I mean, I've always kind of felt I was handsome. Erie says you're not very photogenic. I beg to differ. I think I'm very photogenic, but okay. Sleeve says most of the pictures you take just ooze crazy. That's fine. That's fine. Erie says your pics are uncanny valley. No offense. It's somebody who's kind of like a human being, but not quite. All right, Erie. Thanks. So, Sleeve says the way you clasp your hands and the ever-present Santaku eyes. Rusty says you're the Andrew bot. All right. All right. Dave asks, how often do I get people to take photos of me? Not too often. My father takes a lot of photos of me. But how often do I get people to take photos of me? Not too often. Erie says, I look like an alien trying to be human. Blah, 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 blah. All right. I think I'm getting ready for Nami. I know we got a lot of people in the house. We got 8 people in the house, which is a pretty big number. So maybe I'll give this a few more minutes. Any more questions? Erie says you've aged a lot since 2020. I do agree with that, unfortunately. But hey, what's the alternative? Getting older and dying, So I have aged a lot since 2020. It's true. Let's pull up a picture of me in 2020 and compare it to me now. All right. Let's 1 second. Let's get a good picture of me from 2020. Okay. Erie says, I think you looked better when you were on meds. This is me in 2020. This is me in 2020. So I mean, obviously, I look relatively similar, but if he wants me to zoom in, zoom in. Somebody wants me to this. I'm going to show you me in 2021. One sec, guys. I'm getting a good picture of me in 2021. This is a year later in 2021, and remember at this time I was on the mega regimen of medication. That was me in 2021. And this is me. This is me late in December of this year. This is me December of 2020, December of last year, so 3 months ago. Somebody says, you've gotten way skinnier. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight by coming down on the medications. And this is me fully clothed literally today. So that's me covering up the fruits of my body. Okay. Somebody says, see that picture from today? You look kind of nuts. Somebody says, you could have passed as normal before, but now you look a little sped up. McClare says, the clothed version of me is better than the fruits of my body. Sleeve says, the pictures from the beach, you look good. I still look good in my bathing suit on the beach. Somebody asks, am I a narcissist? Do I have narcissistic personality disorder? Dr. Koplin's official diagnosis of me was that I am symptomatic schizoaffective with narcissistic preoccupations. I don't know if that means I have narcissistic personality disorder or not. However, when I asked him, am I a true narcissist? I don't know. It just doesn't matter. If I truly had narcissistic personality disorder, there are a number of things that I would be unable to do that I do. I forget exactly what his rationale and why he said I didn't have it was, but there were a number of examples why he said, obviously I might not have it. He said basically the diagnosis is symptomatic schizoaffective and you need clozaril or a strong antipsychotic. That's basically what he said it is. All right, guys, I'm going to get going to NAMI. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Somebody says, I think you looked better in 2021, to be honest. Yeah, I did. I looked younger. I look better then. I mean, with more weight on me, or you just think I looked younger? I mean, it is what it is. It's fucking several years ago now. I mean, I got older, but I'm not ugly. Oh, McClare says with more weight. I could easily put more weight on. He says not the age, the weight. Okay, fair enough. All right, peace out, guys.